What's illegal but people act like it isn't? Dropping the cigarette butts on the ground. LPT. An empty tin of mints works great as a travel ashtray, plus the residual mint smell helps contain it. Low-level stealing from work. Maybe a few pens that I leave in my pocket, the accidental AA batteries, the computer monitor. Anytime I got fired from an office job, I'd steal a ream of paper for cover letters and resumes. I figured they owed me. Littering, I don't even care that it's illegal. It's the apathetic act itself and its repercussions that bother me. Oh man, I was out driving with someone and they just passed me their fast food drink and said, "Here, throw this out the window for me." And when I refused, they went, "What? It's not like you're going to get caught." That's not the fucking reason I didn't want to do it. In South Africa, literally everything. It's not illegal if nobody important sees you, and even if they do see you, they either don't care or you can probably bribe them. You are stealing, right to jail. You are playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. Driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You are charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish? Believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist, and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail. Everything's legal until you get caught. I work in downtown Seattle a lot, so heroin and having your dick out. What's going on in Seattle? Lots of heroin and visible penises. The name of my new album. In the US, telling non-managerial employees not to discuss wages. The National Labor Relations Act, which was passed in 1935, makes it illegal for an employer to prohibit you in any way from discussion of your wages with others, unless your management, as in, actually have control over others' salaries. Then they can tell you not to disclose those. And then companies made it taboo as a matter of culture, and every company does that so everyone plays ball. My company rolled out, "Do your own yearly review" last year, and I thought it was horseshit and gave myself 5 stars across the board and got a 14% raise. I told everyone I work with and they're all going to do it this year. I see your gain, corporate. Fuck you bourgeois fat cats. Either hire an HR person to actually put human eyes on my work, or give us raises no matter what. Don't try to guilt us into doing the work and underrating ourselves so you save money. Not picking up after your dog. There's an awful lot of doggy landmines in the dog walking trails where I take my dogs. My favorite is when they bag the shit and then leave the bag on the side of the trail. I see it constantly. It's going to give me a stroke from the rage. In the Netherlands, scaffold theft. It is insane how much scaffolds get stolen, worth of thousands of euros. You mean scaffold as in construction? That's actually really weird. There was a whole item on TV last week about that business. It's like people's bicycles get stolen, so they decided to steal bicycles. Meanwhile, each year, there is scaffold material that gets stolen worth 15 million euros in the Netherlands. That's a lot, considering we only have 17 million inhabitants. Sampling. Bulk candy in grocery stores. Why did that never occur to me when I was little? Instead, I would beg my mom. She would say no. I'd end up in tears, and make the trip to the grocery store horrible for everyone involved. My mother was the one doing the sampling. Hell, she'd open random boxes of stuff so she could see if she liked something or not. The older I got, the more nervous it made me of anyone seeing. She tried to get me to try as well, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Entering the freeway at a very slow speed for no reason, or stopping completely first for no reason. Anything politicians, celebrities get away with on a daily basis. Also weed in my country because the police are too underfunded to care anymore. Pretty sure that's part of why they legalized it here in Canada. Nobody gave a fuck, so the gov was just like, meh, may as well tax that shit. I feel like not enough people acknowledge that defamation of character is a thing. You can't lie to hurt someone's reputation. Underage drinking. Usually underage drinking isn't illegal. It's buying or selling alcohol for under 18s that is illegal. In many places in the US, it's illegal for a minor to be in possession of alcohol. Hence the charge, minor in possession. In Scotland, 1. You can publicly buy and drink alcohol at 18. 2. You can drink a wine, beer or cider with a meal in a restaurant publicly when accompanied by an adult at 16. 3. You can be given alcohol in your own home by a parent or guardian at their own discretion from age 5. US drinking laws seem mad to me. Downloading torrents of movies, games, etc. In the UK, cycling on the pavement, sidewalk. Also in the US, I think it's allowed if you are under age 10, but otherwise you need to be on the street. That's up to the locality. It isn't illegal everywhere. Perfectly legal in Richmond, Virginia, for example. Using a cell phone while driving. I've seen so many people on their phones at stoplights. Light goes red, head goes down to the phone. Light goes green, they snap up and take off. Or texting while driving on the highways. There's someone I know who would put their phone on the steering wheel and text the whole time when driving. Brother-in-law admitted he sometimes sends emails from his laptop while driving on the freeway. Texting while driving. I live in a college town, and I take a mile walk every morning, and I like to people watch while waiting at crosswalks. It's infuriating how people can just stare at their phones while driving. I could understand if it was just when stopped, though you shouldn't do it even then, but these people roll up to a light, head tilted 90 degrees to the side, one hand on the wheel, and it drives me nuts. Possessing marijuana, only in some states. Drinking and driving. It's actually frightening how many people drink and drive regularly. To start off, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I celebrated my 1-year sobriety 2 days ago, October 14th. Anyway, I made the comment above mostly because in the past I drank and drove way more than I'd like to admit. Luckily, I never got into any accidents, and I never got a DWI. I was the type of alcoholic that drank from the moment I woke up to right before I passed out. I essentially drank before, during, and after I worked too. Throughout my journey of getting clean, I learned that there are a lot of people who are struggling in the same way that I was, who literally need a drink in order to function and or stave off the inevitable withdrawals. Many of these people are driving drunk daily, without realizing how altered they really are. I know that I never thought I was as drunk as I really was. Lastly, on top of that, I also manage a convenience store gas station. It's almost a guarantee that I'll see multiple empty bottles of booze thrown into the trash cans out by the gas pumps. Sometimes you'll even find them in the bathroom waste bins, too. 1. Speeding. 2. Driving after drinking and or recreational drug use. 3. Having sexual relations in the store dressing room. 4. Eating the grapes and cherries that you haven't bought. 5. Eating fod out of the bulk bin. 6. Tailgating. Do you mean grapes cherries from someone else's tree or something? Who eats grapes and cherries that they haven't bought? LMAO wow. It's not unusual in grocery stores for people to pop a grape or cherry in their mouth when they walk through the fruit section. Technically theft, but rarely ever is anyone such a stickler for the rules that they call the cops over it. Bribing politicians. Yeah, most politicians think they're above the law just because they're a part of it. Very annoying. Walking their dogs without a leash. This happened a month or 2 ago at a park I frequent. The dog kept running after disc golfers and chased people down the sidewalk while the girl just awkwardly walked to it like, OMG, so embarrassing, LOL. It ran across the street twice, which almost caused some accidents. One of the disc golfers offered to give her his extra leash, but his group ended up babysitting the dog, while she just stood around not being a good owner. People yelled at her about the lack of a collar or leash, and she just rebuffed the questions like, I know. It was just very painful to witness such a lack of awareness. People like this are the worst. Last time I went mountain biking in a natural area that has a no dogs policy because people let their dogs terrorize the wildlife. Imagine that. I encountered someone exactly like this. I was approaching the only blind corner and getting ready to slow down when a dog comes around the corner at full speed. I had to do a full brake and throw all my weight back so I didn't go flying over the handlebars. The dog seemed just as surprised to see me, so he tried to stop, scrambled, and tripped right next to the edge of the trail, which was a 20-meter drop onto rocks. Thankfully he doesn't fall off, but I was sitting there for a couple of minutes debating whether to call someone when the owner finally arrives. I asked them if they knew there was a no dogs rule. She just said, "Oops, didn't know that." I asked why the dog wasn't on leash, she had one, and her response: "He's really energetic, and he doesn't need a leash because he's so friendly," smiling the whole time. I explained to her what just happened and she just goes, "Oh well lol," and kept hiking with her unleashed dog. It's clear you don't really give a fuck about other people when you have an unleashed dog. But it gets even stupider when you realize they don't care about their own dog either. What's illegal but people act like it isn't? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.